Hey everybody, it's Old School. In this video, I'm going to be talking about something that seems to be pretty uncommon, uncommon enough to not being able to find the solution to this problem on the internet anywhere at all. At least after my searching, and you can point the finger at me and say, "Hey, you didn't search good enough." That very well may be, but I searched pretty doggone hard for a couple of days, and I kind of just finally gave up and just said, I'll deal with it because it's not the kind of problem that makes games unplayable or anything like that. It's just a tiny bit annoying, and since I used to be able to play games at a very smooth frame rate, and now I wasn't able to. It was just slightly annoying, but it never made anything unplayable. But what I'm talking about, of course, is tiny little stutters, also maybe called micro stutters. Just stutters not bad enough to say, "Oh man, I can't play this game," but stutters they're just slightly annoying, especially to those who have very powerful hardware. They have a Core i7 6700 matched with a GTX 1080 or something like that. It really gets under those people's skin because they paid a lot of money for their rig and they don't want to see any kind of stuttering at all. So me, I can handle a little bit because I still have a relatively cheap and outdated rig. Anyway, I started getting this issue where I had these little stutters in two of my games, most notably, which is Doom 4 and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. When I switched my monitor out from a CRT monitor, which I used to have, to the LCD screen that you see in front of you. This is a 16 by 10, 1440 by 900 resolution monitor, capable of 60 hertz and 75 hertz. And I made sure that the monitor was set to 60 hertz because obviously if you're gonna sync the game to the refresh rate, you're gonna want it to whatever refresh rate you want the game to run at, and Doom definitely can't run much over 75 or much over 60 on my system. So I changed the refresh rate to 60 hertz, and I still get these tiny little stutters. I've tried turning triple buffering on to. I actually did update my latest driver to the latest driver and everything like that. And it did a completely clean install. That didn't fix the problem, but I needed to do that anyway. And I even switched from a VGA to a DVI cable, and that improved the picture quality, but it still didn't take the stuttering away. So I was pretty sure that the monitor was the problem somehow, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and I didn't know why, and I definitely didn't know how to fix it. So I always run statistics up here in the upper left hand corner whenever I play any kind of game, and especially on Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, which my computer's always handled extremely well because my hardware is much more powerful than the game demands, and I was even getting stuttering in that game, and that's what really baffled me. I was like, this can't be a performance issue because my GPU is saying that it's only at like 30%. My CPU is saying it's only at like 30%. I mean, it's ridiculous. I shouldn't be getting any kind of stuttering at all, but I was still getting stuttering. And one thing that I did definitely notice was whereas with my CRT monitor, my refresh rate was 60 hertz. That MSI Afterburner was telling me that the refresh rate was 60 hertz, and definitely no lower than 59.9 hertz, which is pretty much 60 hertz. But after I hooked up the LCD, I found out every game that I'm running is running at 58.8 hertz, which is significant because you're actually missing just over a frame. You're missing an entire frame in the cycle. So obviously that can cause some stuttering problems. And now the next question is, why is it only 58.8 hertz instead of 60 hertz? And that was the next problem that I tried to Google. Say, I have a monitor that does 58.8 hertz instead of 60 hertz, and turns out a lot of people actually have that complaint, but nobody knows how to fix it. And the people who say that it can be fixed, just replace your monitor. I don't really deem that as an acceptable fix, especially, if the monitor's not bad, the monitor's not bad. Why would I go out and pay like $300 for a new monitor? So none of that was ever an option for me. So I lived with it for a little while, and I just had a thought. Why don't I see if the internet has a way to test your refresh rate? And that's what I did. So when I went here, I went to Google here, and I said refresh rate test. I got this right here: discover your display's VSync refresh rate. Clicked on it, loaded up. Now I'm running at 75 hertz currently because with what I have to show you, I can't be running at 60 hertz. So as you can see, my display is running at 74.98 hertz, and that is more than close enough. That's perfectly good for silky smooth performance. So I was okay. I was actually okay at 75 hertz. But when I would switch to 60 hertz, and unfortunately, I don't know why, you won't get to see when I switch back over to 60 hertz. You won't get to see what I was seeing beforehand, which was my computer was refreshing at 58.887 hertz, which is definitely where I was getting the stuttering. So the question was how to fix it. Is it actually the problem with the monitor? Is it the problem with the GPU? Well, what you want to do this test first. If you're at 75 hertz and you're getting something like 73.9 or something like that, that's cause for alarm. If you're running at 60 hertz like I normally am on Doom, because I can't run Doom at 75 hertz, but and you see something like I saw, which was 58.8 hertz, that's definitely where your stuttering has come from. So but before you start going crazy about uninstalling, reinstalling drivers, or even doing a hard drive wipe and fresh install, or replacing your hard drive with an SSD and replacing a thermal paste on your CPU and GPU, or just replacing your entire motherboard, this is a very easy test to do to see exactly what you're getting. And if, like I said, if you're got 60 hertz monitor and you're running significantly below that, which is one frame is significant, then that's where your problem is at. And that's what you need to look at. Now, if you're getting stuttering and your monitor is running at 60 hertz completely fine, then your problem is probably elsewhere. But check this first. This is very, very easy to do. So now we're going to go into how I fixed it. So I have an NVIDIA card, so I'm going to the NVIDIA control panel. And in the control panel, you can create custom resolutions and also custom refresh rates. So I already made one. That sounds like a cooking program. I already made one. It's right here. I'll just go to edit the one that I made. And as you can see, 1440 by 900 is my native resolution, 60 hertz. And so you're like, okay, I really can't do anything but, maybe go down to 15 or go up to 61 hertz or go on to 59. And I actually tried both of those, and both actually made the problem just a little bit worse. So I came down here and saw timing, and you'll see all this stuff down here where you can manipulate the refresh rate exactly. I actually tried that. I actually tried typing in 58.8 hertz, and for some reason it didn't save. I guess it's not. I guess it's not allowed. I still don't know why that didn't work. It should have worked, but I don't know why it didn't. But what I did is I came up here. This was actually set to automatic. And then I saw these other GFT or GTF, DMT, CVT, and then CVT reduced blank and manual. That's where you can change all this stuff down here. I didn't know what any of these meant, and so I went on NVIDIA's site to see what CVT reduced blank meant, and found out that CVT reduced blank is ideally what you should have this set to if you have an LCD screen. Now, Your hardware is supposed to, or I guess the driver is supposed to detect what you have and pick the appropriate one. That's what the automatic is for. But apparently, mine was not picking the correct one. It wasn't picking CVT reduced. Oops, sorry, CVT reduced blank. It was picking something else. And what CVT reduced blank is it reduces the time that the pit that the picture is blank before the next frame. Sorry, it took a little bit of time to get that out. The reason why it has to reduce it is because CRTs need a longer vertical blank to reset the electron gun to make the next set of passes, and so it needs a longer vertical blank. And since LCDs don't have an electron gun, obviously it doesn't need as much time. So when you have an too much vertical blank time, it can obviously cause some frame pacing issues. So ever since I set this to CVT reduced blank, all my problems went away. And now let's cancel that and that. I'll go ahead and switch it over to 60 hertz, just like that. Then we'll go to the internets. I'll refresh this here. And now, as you can see, my refresh rate is 60 and slightly above, but most importantly, we got 16.66 and about 6 over here for the frame time, and that's what you need for a silky smooth frame rate in your games if they run at 60 frames per second. So, like I said, very easy to test. As you can see, you just go to this site, you test it. If you're getting anything significantly less than 60 hertz, then that's where your problem is, and then you go into the NVIDIA driver to fix it. Now, I don't know if AMD users have this issue or not. I don't know if they even have the issue in the first place, or if it's a different place inside the catalyst control for AMD. I'm not sure about that, but the answer is yes, absolutely. A monitor can cause stuttering, and not in this case. It's not the monitor itself. It's what's driving the monitor, and it just needed to be told exactly what to do instead of doing the wrong thing. I'm not getting too technical here. So anyway, I hope that you found this video useful, and I'll see you all next time.